Morning, folk. Thought I'd shoot just a quick video before I run into people going, what the hell is this guy doing? It's just a open Wednesday morning, and I'm just out getting in like an hour of cardio with a moderate, like 20-25 pound bag or something like that. I've always felt bad for the folk preparing for long trails who are in flat places like Florida. Whereas just like a 10-minute drive from my office, maybe half an hour from my house, we have Forest Park that itself has like 80 miles of trails between really flat to decently steep for just being technically a city park forest. And then a bunch of other trails nearby that lead to quite a lot. So I already ran into my first fellow morning hiker. Lots of dog walkers, even though there's just a few houses around this end. But either way, I just love the accessibility of this area where I can go a few different places within a half hour or 10 minutes depending, and either get some decent hills or just gorgeous forest, which, well, this is just home, so it's not bad. But either way, it's just kind of a micro update. Last night we sat down and ordered almost all the rest of the stuff we need gear-wise. So we just have to stop by the Columbia employee store that a friend is going to get us into, and so we can get our shirts. And stop by Walmart for some cheap $5 sunglasses and whatnot. Otherwise, it's just like assembling med kits, and that's about it. And hoping people buy us lots of Vega, which is our like vitamin greens protein powder that is delicious and will help us push off hiker hunger and just keep healthier and better performance and recovery on the trail. It's just expensive, and we simply don't have the money to buy it ourselves, really. So that's just kind of where we're at. We're just slowly upping miles again, but putting a lot of emphasis on making sure we're starting to add loads so we can fairly quickly get to fully loaded, like desert weights of bag weight at around the distance that we're going to start with, and then start pushing that distance with that full load, which is why I'm out here doing just a couple miles, but it's fairly steep on the way back. I usually use this as a like fitness check mark spot because I can do almost exactly a mile pretty steeply and consistently uphill. Nothing crazy, but noticeable, especially a few stretches. And it's really close by, so I can just check some metrics that I'm curious about when I'm curious about them, and just gets me out of the office. So that's what I'm going to keep doing. But to kind of wrap up, going super slow footsteps because it's insanely muddy and very steep and very watery, so I already slipped a little bit because I've been looking at the camera. But either way, to wrap up, it's just there's a lot to do in the checklist still. Like, I definitely have the worry of trying to get my office rented out while I'm gone, because otherwise that's going to be an enormous overall loss of money. And I don't want to lose my office, because otherwise I'm in trouble when I get back, because I have a perfect arrangement. But, you know, things like this aside, the excitement is finally getting more than the worry in bits here and there. And by the worry, I just mean the anxiety of dealing with a to-do list beforehand. So it's been very good. And you spend years working on something, and you can't, or rather years working for something, you can't really even connect with it anymore. It doesn't feel real. The way I put it to my wife the other day was that it's almost kind of like having a crush on a celebrity. Like, it's something you may think about, but it's not real and is not going to happen. And that's really how the PCT is felt in a certain way. Not that we weren't going to go do it and that it was just a pipe dream, but it felt that way because we spent like 5 years in different degrees working on making this happen, and we leave in a few weeks, and that just boggles me. And so my brain is just finally reaching out like a toddler for their mother for the PCT, just going, pick me up now. So that's where we're at. There's been a lot of those moments where you just kind of tear up and go, holy crap, this is happening, and it's happening soon. As of right now, it's about 7 weeks away, I think. And so I just have to print off our permits and laminate them because we have them. Still working on the Canada entry permit because I submitted it with an unsigned passport. At least I think that's the mistake I made because I can't find anything else. So just getting those little bits taken care of. We figured out our first couple resupply spots and where we're going to grab groceries for those, and that's really kind of where the planning ends, other than just our overall pace as we get started. So I guess instead of just meandering on, I'll leave it at that and see you guys soon. I guess I will finish up by saying I've had a couple people realize that I have a practice in the Portland, Oregon area, and so if there are any of you who are going to be hiking or have and want to stop by for some no-cost treatment before we head out, get in touch. See you later.